The cult of productivity, worshiping at the altar of burnout. You ever meet someone who treats their Google Calendar like a sacred scroll? Every hour filled, every moment optimized, like they're going to be judged at the gates of heaven not by their morality, but by how many bullet points they ticked off in Notion. Welcome to the cult of productivity, where doing more is the religion and rest is a sin. Let's talk hustle. Not the kind your immigrant grandmother did to survive, but the kind your LinkedIn buddy brags about in his rise and grind post, while quietly crying into his third protein bar. You know the type: 4 a.m. wake up, ice cold shower, journaling like he's the next Marcus Aurelius, reading 5 books before breakfast, followed by a 12-hour workday powered by caffeine and delusion. They call it discipline. I call it capitalist cosplay. This is the modern equivalent of self-flagellation. Except instead of whips, it's time blocking and sleep deprivation. If productivity gurus had their way, we'd all be fitted with smart diapers so we could crap while typing. There's something almost religious about it. Instead of God, we worship efficiency. Instead of commandments, we have 12 rules for life, and then 12 more. The modern saint is the one who can afford a Peloton, a standing desk, and a therapist who doubles as an accountability coach. But here's the heresy. You are not a machine. You're not designed to produce. You're designed to live, breathe, laugh, sleep, maybe even stare into the distance and, God forbid, do nothing. But doing nothing? That's practically a war crime in this cult. Try telling your coworker, "I'm taking a day to think." They'll look at you like you just announced you joined a pyramid scheme run by cats. If you're not monetizing your hobbies, automating your emails, and listening to a podcast at 2x speed while folding your laundry, you're apparently wasting your potential. Meanwhile, the same people saying this haven't had an original thought since TikTok started telling them what to think. Let's thank our techno overlords for this mess. Silicon Valley didn't just give us apps, it gave us the disease of scalability as a life philosophy. Startups worship growth like it's salvation, and they expect you to do the same. Scale your time, scale your body, scale your soul. Just don't scale your wage, because somehow that's unsustainable. If Jeff Bezos worked on himself as hard as he worked on his logistics network, he might have a personality by now. Productivity has become the moral justification for exploitation. You're not working hard because you love it. You're working hard because some VC-backed sociopath gamified your paycheck and convinced you that burnout is character building. Let's take a stroll down the wellness aisle, shall we? Blue light glasses, microdosing kits, cold plunges, mushroom coffee, CBD bath bombs. All for what? So you can recover faster and get back to grinding. Self-care used to mean relaxing. Now it's just pre-production for your next work sprint. It's like they put a Fitbit on your soul. You've got people stacking supplements like they're playing biochemical Jenga, because God forbid you get tired at 3 p.m. like a normal human. If your daily routine requires more logistics than the D-Day invasion, maybe you're not optimizing your life. You're auditioning for a pharmaceutical commercial. Let's stop pretending this is a personal failing. You didn't invent the cult. You were born into it. We've tied self-worth to productivity because capitalism demands it. It's not enough to just be, you have to justify your existence. Produce or perish. Contribute or disappear. Even kids aren't safe. You've got 9-year-olds with resumes longer than mine. Robotics team, violin, fluent in Mandarin, and still somehow failing to meet mom's KPIs. You're not lazy. You're exhausted from being exploited and told it's your fault. Most of us aren't unmotivated. We're just allergic to BS. If corporate America stopped treating humans like defective toasters, we might actually give a damn. Let's poke another beehive. Masculinity. Because what's more manly than crushing it? You're told to be a provider, a leader, a grinder. Rest? That's for the weak. Vulnerability? That's a branding issue. Meanwhile, men are dying inside, literally, from heart attacks, loneliness, and repressed emotion. But hey, at least the spreadsheet got color-coded. This cult teaches men to equate stillness with failure, to measure their value in output, to treat emotions like bad investments, only useful if they generate returns. If modern masculinity had a slogan, it'd be feel nothing, lift everything, die early. Social media made it worse, obviously. We've turned productivity into a performance art. Monday motivation, hustle harder, no days off. Every post is someone humble bragging about how busy they are. Like stress is a status symbol. It's always the guy who works 100 hours a week who has time to make 12 Instagram stories about it. Either he's lying or he's figured out how to bend time like Doctor Strange with a LinkedIn premium subscription. You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlight reel. You're measuring your value by how exhausted you look. And that's not ambition. That's self-harm with a filter. Now, here's where I lose some of you. Maybe the answer isn't better productivity habits. Maybe the answer is stop worshiping productivity altogether. What if we embraced enough? What if we redefined success as having the freedom to nap at 2 p.m. without guilt? What if we stopped measuring time in deliverables and started measuring it in meaning? Rest isn't laziness. It's resistance. Joy isn't indulgence. It's rebellion. Leisure isn't a reward. It's a right. The true crime isn't slacking off. The true crime is devoting your one precious life to building someone else's dream, while calling it grind set. You're not a startup. You're a mammal. You don't need to scale. You need a goddamn break and a sandwich. Look, I'm not saying don't work hard. I'm saying don't worship hard work like it's holy. There's a difference between working with purpose and working because you're afraid of being seen as lazy. You want to hustle? Cool. But hustle with awareness. Make sure the ladder you're climbing isn't leaned up against someone else's pyramid scheme. And if all else fails, take a nap. Seriously. The world won't end because you missed a deadline. But it might if we keep burning ourselves out just to keep up appearances. Remember, your value is not in how much you produce. If it were, bees would be billionaires, and Elon Musk would be pollinating flowers instead of Twitter. If you found this offensive, you might be deep in the cult. But hey, awareness is the first step to recovery. Close your productivity app, go sit in the sun, touch some grass, or better yet, touch your own damn heart and ask, who am I without the hustle?